Saurav Sharma says with increase in his salary, he would like to increase his SIP amount, but his platform doesn't provide the option to increase the amount in his current SIP. So should he cancel the current SIP and start a new one, or start a new SIP while continuing with current SIP? What's better, keeping expense ratio and other factors in mind?
Well, first of all, it's great to know that he's thinking of those lines because that's what we profess to a lot of investors. But often we see that investors commit to a certain amount for their SIP and then continue with the same amount for several years down the line without any context of what was their income level when they started investing and how their income level has grown versus the stagnancy that has been there in their SIP amount. So it's quite encouraging to see that he's looking to increase his SIP in tandem with his income. Now, to answer his question, first of all, there is really no difference in terms of costs or any associated expenses, whether he invests through a single SIP or multiple SIPs. So from that perspective, that does not make a difference. So what I'd suggest is if this is really a one-time increment to his SIP that he's looking to make at this point in time, then the simplest and the quickest way could be to just start a fresh SIP. But having said that, if these increments is something that he's looking to make periodically, say every year he's looking to increase his SIP amount along with his income, then adding new SIPs every year may not be a viable approach because the sheer number of SIPs can become overwhelming to track. So in that case, a top-up facility offered by fund companies would be a better alternative, where one can select a predefined amount of increment either in rupee terms or percentage terms to one's existing level of SIP at predefined intervals. And one can also specify the upper limit to the SIP amount beyond which the increments are stopped. So that is a kind of facility that may be of use to him, and he can look out for a platform which provides the top-up facility. An alternate way that many investors follow, which he can consider, is to set up SIPs only for a 1 year period at a point in time. And then towards the end of the year, when the SIPs are expiring, it gives the investor a natural opportunity to reflect back on the investments, take stock of them, consider whether funds are doing well or there is merit in looking to change any of the funds. If there is a need to rebalance the investments or rebalance the asset allocation. And while doing that, also decide upon what would be the kind of SIP amount that he would like to keep for the next 1 year, and then create an SIP for the next 1 year of that amount, and then repeat this process the next year. So that's also an approach that one can follow, but one should do that only if one does not fall into procrastination and does not keep sitting upon the SIP renewals. Because if one does that, that could be far more detrimental, because if one delays renewing one's SIPs, then that can come at a great opportunity loss. So I would suggest that if he has these tendencies to procrastinate, then a top-up facility would be a better one for him.